Hello, O365 followers. So continuing with our topic on what's new and exciting with Microsoft Teams devices, today we're joined by Alex Mooney from Logitech to discuss their latest capabilities for hybrid collaboration, streamlining meeting room setups, and more importantly, integration of AI for a smarter workspace experience. So welcome, Alex. Thanks for joining us. I'll just turn it over to you, let you do a little introduction to yourself and Logitech.
Yeah, thank you so much. And first of all, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm Alex Mooney. I work as an alliance manager at Logitech, which means that I get to manage our partnership with Microsoft along with my team, ranging from everything from products to how we bring these to market and try to deliver meaningful value to our customers.
Awesome. Well, we were talking before we hit record. I'm really excited to dive right into one specific topic, and we were chatting about AI-powered workspaces. So I know Logitech is really sort of delivering a lot of new capabilities with their devices and even on the software side. So let's talk about that. Why don't you just sort of set the context for what Logitech is doing and why it's so important?
Yeah, thanks. And I'll just share a quick visual as we get started there. So you may note, you may recognize all of these logos. Obviously, Copilot and Teams and Places are an important sort of vector for people to understand how to power the AI-powered workplace. So to kind of simplify this a little bit of how Logitech thinks about it, we think about this as connecting people to AI, people to people, and people to workplace. And so we lovingly say all people in all spaces is what our mission is. So connecting all people in all spaces and then helping them to do their very best work wherever that takes them. And so that's what we're focused on. We try to keep a really simple approach to deliver that. And I think one of the important areas of this is there's a lot of investigation going on. Customers are spending a huge amount of time and money trying to figure out how to unlock the value, the promise of Copilot, and how to make sure that their workplaces, whether they're hybrid or in person or however that is laid out for them, that they're getting the most out of their investments in technology. So something that I'm spending a lot of time thinking about and that Logitech as a whole spends a lot of time on.
One of the things that really interests me from this AI-powered workspace point of view is we're talking about the importance to getting that value out of Copilot and AI, clear transcriptions, and the importance of having audio-video equipment that sort of, does the intelligent recap properly, gives you the most fine granular information. Can you just elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time talking to our customers about where they are seeing the value in their investments around AI. And one of those is, of course, with Copilot. And Microsoft actually, in their Work Trends Index, they released a bunch of data, which was respondents from surveying their customers that had already deployed a large number of Copilot seats. And they said that 43%, or the number one category at 43% of the value that they could measure, the productivity gains they could measure from Copilot came from the intelligent meeting recap within Teams, which means it's coming from that live transcription and then the inevitable insights that you're able to gain from Copilot after the fact, which is awesome. I mean, email drafting came after that, document creation, search and analytics, all of that came after that, the number one category being in that intelligent meeting recap. And that's not even counting the productivity gains from things like Facilitator, taking live meeting notes and prompting you during your meetings, whether it's in Teams rooms or just in Teams client. So I think that's powerful. Now, I like to try to guide people and say, you should be considering high quality AV as critical AI infrastructure. It's central to unlocking that 43% of Copilot's value. And the reason I say that is because we already know that lower quality audio capture in particular in a space leads to a really high word error rate. And what I mean is like a high misunderstanding of words that were spoken, or not quite grasping the point of what somebody's saying. And this only gets worse when your company has a really distributed workforce, meaning your word error rate goes through the roof when you have different dialects, languages, accents, and all of these kinds of things. And so the promise of AI is that it can solve a lot of these problems. It can create more equitable experiences. It can do real-time translation, but all that is dependent on an accurate transcript. And so if you don't have really powerful audio capture devices in your AV that are doing things like background noise removal, that can handle parsing different voices in a meeting room when they speak over each other and still separate these things, when it can't remove the background echo and HVAC and all these kinds of things that are creating noise in the space, then that leads to errors in the transcript. And if you have errors in your transcript, it only compounds the issue as you then process that transcript with AI for summaries, and then insights from those summaries, and then action items from those insights, from those summaries. Those errors just keep compounding. And so it's really critical to get high quality audio so that you get a high quality transcript so that you can unlock the power of Copilot for that meeting experience.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was just looking at a transcript yesterday that was quite garbled, and it's really frustrating. Sorry, over to you, Habib.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Alex. So I was just, I guess since we're still on the topic of AI, and Microsoft has come out with their new product called Places, right, which has a bunch of different AI integration, Teams Premium licensing, and Copilot as well. Obviously, it's huge from the bookable resources kind of thing, either book a desk or, book a meeting room. Obviously, your product can sit in both the end user and the meeting space. How does, your stuff, along with the AI functionality that you're kind of doing, integrate with this whole Places story?
Yeah, so the Microsoft and Places experience is one that's constantly evolving. So today, what users experience when they go into Places is really around the booking and sort of navigating your office. And I'll show you a quick visual of kind of how this comes together at Logitech. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to coordinate our in-office and our out-of-office days. So we have products like you see on the screen here. This is our Logitech LogiDock Flex. This is an all-in-one docking station. It runs the Teams panel application on the surface there, which people are familiar with booking panels outside of meeting rooms. And so this is connected to the Places ecosystem. And so you can actually plan the days you want to work in the office. You can go into your calendar and set those days. You can find the locations that you want to work. And then, of course, you can get AI-generated recommendations for the best places and so forth. So when you go through the Places experience and you book those desks, you'll notice in these images here where we're booking, then you're presented with a reserved desk on these Logitech devices. And so what we do is we actually take that same exact experience. We think that part of unlocking users' confidence in actually adopting these technologies, when we survey our customers, a lot of them say their number one area that's a barrier to new technology is the users' resistance to adopting it. And we think that part of that is about consistency. So if you present a consistent user experience across the board in every space, people are more likely to adopt it and utilize it rather than having different ones. So when you go from booking desks to booking rooms, you get the exact same Teams panel experience. So at the desk and at the room entry, you're getting the same visual experience. We also take that one step further by adding devices like you see on the right. This is a brand new device from us. It's an environmental sensing device with radar and all kinds of things built in. That's called Logitech Spot. And Spot allows us to do auto booking and auto room release for by detecting presence in spaces. So if you already have a camera in a room, you of course already have the ability to detect when people enter or exit the room. But if you don't have cameras in the room, Spot can fill that capacity for you and do all of that booking, auto book and auto release experience. So that kind of helps you with all of your meeting automations. You can set all these policies in our management tool called Sync. We've got tools to help you provide wayfinding and so forth, a part of that experience so that you can see those maps. And of course, all these devices have health reports being generated both inside of the Teams admin portals as well as in our Logitech Sync admin portal as well. So that's kind of our starting place on places, making sure that the navigation booking experience is consistent, it's adoptable, and then we're also adding features like auto book and auto release, and then pulling some of that environmental health data, like health reporting of the air quality in rooms and so forth, and exposing that to IT administrators and facility admins to be able to make decisions based on that.
So, I mean, that Spot is really cool. And I'm just curious. So there's no integration, I guess, like with the signaling, I guess, aspect of Spot and Places. It's more around your Sync product and Exchange kind of thing to say like, hey, this room has not been, walked into or something like that, within 10 minutes, then you basically send the release message over to Exchange. Is that sort of like the process?
Yeah, so we pair this at the Teams panel level. We try to keep it as simple as possible. We don't want a ton of stuff on the cloud side or on the network side. We want to make it as simple as connectivity, installation, but also just the technical complexity. Keep it as simple as possible. So the way Spot works is it pairs to the Teams panel. So if you have a tap scheduler on the wall outside of a room, it's a bookable room. Maybe it does not have an MTR in the space. That's okay. You put Spot on the wall, and it will provide that presence data to the Teams panel application. So you can set some policies in Sync for how quickly it should trigger the Teams panel's book or release functions, but it does allow you to just send that directly to the Teams panel application, which keeps it 100% inside the Microsoft ecosystem as that communication goes out to cloud and out to the different services. We think it keeps it simpler, less variables, less things to break, less things to go fix. That's what we like.
That's great.
Just on that same kind of topic and another topic I'd like to get into, and that's BYOD. It seems to be a somewhat hot topic, especially with Microsoft. I know you have a product, I believe it's called Extend, that enables the BYOD experience. And does Places play into that? Like, how does that all work together? Maybe just for the benefit of our listeners, talk about what BYOD actually is.
Yeah, so this is a really great topic. I'll throw a visual up so that people kind of have something to look at while we talk about it. So Logitech enables BYOD as well as native experiences on all our devices. So let's just start there. Microsoft Teams rooms, all your AV in your space, deployed as Teams rooms on Windows or on Android. What we do, and what you're seeing here is a Rally Bar huddle, but this is true for all of our products in our portfolio. We dual certify all of our products for both Windows and Android. Android is built into the bar. If you want to add Windows, you connect a USB to the PC. There's different reasons why you might choose one over the other. And then all of them have a native BYOD mode built in. All three experiences are manageable in the Pro Portal. All three experiences are running natively on the device itself. So you don't need additional hardware to turn on BYOD or to make Teams rooms on Android work. It's all built into the device. It's a single SKU that you buy, and you can deploy it in whatever capacity you want: Windows, Android, BYOD. So how this comes together in practice, there are different spaces where you may have a requirement for Windows over Android. For example, Windows has things, it usually gets the the latest features first. It also supports things like multi-camera. So if you have maybe a training space, you want to have multiple PTZ cameras around the room, you're going to need Teams rooms on Windows to power that experience. Android's super simple to install. You don't have an additional PC, easy to manage. Excuse me. And so that enables you to go pretty quickly, have a simple management story. And then BYOD maybe is even useful for spaces that you don't want to put a full native Teams room. So you mentioned extend and places. So places doesn't necessarily fit into this because BYOD is going to use a shared device license to report insights back to the Teams Room Pro portal. So whereas the two experiences on the left here, Windows and Android, would carry a Teams Room Pro license, BYOD, you can choose to either add or not add, but if you do add a shared device license to that room, the Pro portal can then intelligently tell you how many times this space is being used, and give you some of the insights that you would expect to get from a Pro room for that BYOD space. So that's where you're getting your insights, is in Pro portal, not in places. And then to go within that, Logitech does have a product called Extend. So you'll notice in this Teams BYOD on the right side here, there's two cables. There's an HDMI and a USB-C. What Extend does is it combines that into a single USB-C with DP alt mode. So it's really easy. It's all open standard, so you don't need special software to connect to it. And then it lets you extend that over category cabling out to your table or to wherever you need to put that USB-C in the room for users to make it easy for them to walk in, plug a single cable, and have that BYOD experience. So starting with the core, we certify for all platforms, Windows, Android, and BYOD. And then from there, we build products to extend that capability to make the installation and the IT management simpler.
Thanks for that.
Speaking on Teams on Android, how is the AOSP journey going, and maybe kind of share? I know that's top of mind of a lot of our customers on, Microsoft's move on the Intune side from device manager, device administration to the Android open source project. So how is that kind of timeline, and which products may or may not be going through that path?
Yeah, so obviously, if you're managing your devices on Android, and specifically if you're using Intune to manage them, you have probably heard about the ASP migration. It's going really well. Basically, what we have to do is we have to enable a specific firmware on our side that allows this migration to occur. That has already been enabled for IT administrators. You can go in and deploy that firmware update to your devices. It will automatically update on June 15th for Logitech devices. So this includes basically our whole portfolio. Anything that has Android built into it will receive that firmware update on June 15th and will migrate. So effectively, people just need to make sure that they have either disabled Intune management for those devices, or that they have completed the AOSP migration on the admin side in order to bring those devices in. Otherwise, they will get auto signed out. So Microsoft's been talking a lot about this. Logitech has as well, and we've been proactively messaging all of our customers. So this should not be news, but it is something to pay attention to. And I will drop a quick link over to you that may be useful to listeners if they are a Logitech customer and want some of that, AOSP guidance. There's also a complete guide, a step-by-step guide on how to complete the migration as well. So I just dropped that in our chat.
All right, we can include that on the blog entry for the podcast too. All right, I have one selfish question to ask about devices. So the Logidock, a few of us had talked before about that device. So it's an all-in-one docking station with built-in speakerphone and mic. Has there been any updates to that? I think the last time I looked at it, that's an older model, but is there a newer model?
Yeah, this was our first entry into this category. Not a new model to be announced today, but something that it is a really cool product. I've used one for a while. We have another desk that my wife uses here at the house when she's working from home, and yeah, it just makes the entire experience easier. It's got the indicator lights to tell you when you have an upcoming meeting. We use a beamforming array to give you the speakerphone experience. One of the unique things that we've been doing is actually looking kind of past the USB connectivity and docks and so forth. And we've been looking at our headsets. So, excuse me, that is an area that we've been kind of investing in. So I'm wearing our Zone Wireless 2 headset. This is the first headset device to be certified for Microsoft's native Bluetooth experience. And what that means is that you don't have to keep up with the pesky dongles anymore. So you don't have to connect them to your dock or have the dock because you don't have enough USB ports. We're trying to simplify that experience. And so, people may be thinking, okay, Bluetooth isn't new. We've been doing Bluetooth forever, which is true. But Bluetooth has always had one critical problem with Teams, and that is things like mute sync. When you flip your microphone, did not sync to Microsoft Teams. Using the Teams button on the side of your headset didn't actually do anything. All these kinds of more deeper experiences, deeper integrations didn't work with Bluetooth. So we had to work with Intel and Microsoft to expand the protocol to enable all of those experiences. So now over Bluetooth with these headsets, mute sync works, Teams buttons work, presence detection, like when you put your headset on, it knows that you're wearing a headset. When you take it off, it knows that you're not. All these kinds of things are kind of baked into that experience. A super simple pairing experience on Intel devices. So we're going to keep investing there. This is the first headset certified. The second is the one I was holding up, Zone 305. The third in the world is probably going to be this one, the Zone Vibe Wireless from Logitech. We expect other vendors to probably start working on native Bluetooth, but they haven't yet. Right now, Logitech is the first and only.
Very cool. Well, we'll end it there, Alex. This has been fantastic. Great insights into all the latest, greatest capabilities. Really interesting about AI unlocking the value with good, better audio video equipment. So really appreciate you coming on and look forward to seeing all the great stuff you're going to release in the coming year.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And if there's anything that people want to learn more about that we talked about today, the best place to do that is at logitech.com or at hub.sync.logitech.com. Those are the two links I'll give you. And that's the best place to learn more about any of these experiences.
Great. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks, Alex. Bye-bye.
Cheers.